Hi everybody, how are you guys doing? This is Debbie with the Fancy Stamper, and I am here again on a Friday to bring you a 5-minute Friday video. So what this is just a couple cards that I've made, and I'm going to go through and show you how I did them. But basically it's just a quick tutorial, and I show you how to make a nice, simple, easy, adorable card or two, and you can give it away to your friends, family, customers, loved ones. Valentine's Day is coming. All right, so I just want to show you what we're using here today. This is the stamps that I chose, which I'm kind of stuck on this stamp set lately, I realize. Heart Happiness. Got a lot of cool stuff in here, so we're going to be using this little heart. We're going to be using this heart with the little flowers on it. Maybe use this little guy here. And also for the sentiment, I'm going to use this Message in a Bottle stamp set. They've got all sorts of really cute sayings. They've got cute images too. But what I'm going to use is the I love you and then a lot. So with that being said, let's get started. Right away, what I do with cards like this, because this is the kind of card that it does take just a little bit of advanced prep for you, but not too bad. And it's the kind of thing that you can do while you're, maybe watching TV or something. So as you see here, what I did was I took this stamp here. This is the heart that we were just talking about right here. And I have a scrap of Whisper White. And I went ahead and I stamped it. Now for me, for this project, I used the Memento ink. The reason I use the Memento ink is because I am going to be coloring it in with our our stamping blends. What I like to do is go ahead and color them and then cut them out. So here's one that I've already colored. I'm gonna go ahead and show you, I don't color too slowly, I color pretty quickly. So I'm gonna show you a couple more, and then I'm probably gonna speed that part up. So I will do that right now, and we will continue on with our little project. So let me pull some of these in here, doing a couple different colors. All right, so these are already colored, and I'm going to show you that yes, I do fussy cut them. We may or may not have a die for this. If you have a die that works for this, go ahead and use it. But you can see it's just fairly simple to fussy cut. And the last part of this is that we are using some glimmer paper like this as backgrounds, and this is what we're going to be putting them on the cards with. Okay, we'll be adhering them to these. Now again, I didn't have a die for these, but it's fairly simple, and I'm going to show you how I do it. I basically take one of these glimmer papers, and I use this as the template. I'm not going to write on it, so don't worry, but I also use the corner just to help me out a little bit. So I go ahead and place the corner, the point of the heart down here, and I'm gonna use just any old pen. And again, I just sort of put a line there to help myself. And I'm basically just freehanding it, and when you cut it, you can cut it a little more neatly than what I'm drawing it, but you'll see what I mean. It's fairly simple, it's not hard to do, and let me just get my little piece here. So what I do is I just follow the lines as best I can, curve it around. If you tend to move the paper instead of the scissors, you do better, but it doesn't take much. And then you'll see, once you have it the way you want it, and you put it next to your stamped image, you can trim it a little bit if there's like a jagged line or something you don't like, or if you need to smooth something out. It's not hard to do, so let me show you. Okay, so I just cut that fairly quickly, and it isn't going to be perfect, but it's going to look fine for what we want it to do. And there you go. I'm not really going to trim this much more, maybe just a little bit off of here because I think it's a little bit uneven right here. But be careful, you don't want to start trimming things away and then suddenly you don't have anything left, okay? And don't be overcritical, okay? No one's gonna be that critical of your stuff. So we'll start with this one. This is our Bermuda Bay, and I have some black paper that I'm gonna use as a background, just our basic black cardstock. And I'm going to use a little of this silver baker's twine, just to bling it up a tiny bit. What I do when I'm using the baker's twine is I'm not very scientific about it. I just tape it on and then I start winding it around just to kind of make a design. And then I might tape it every now and then, especially if I'm doing the whole card like I am with this one. I'm gonna do the whole card, so I will definitely trim it right there and then start it up again down here, because otherwise you're gonna have string going all over the place. So I just do it like this to make it easier for myself. And you know, like I said, I'm just basically getting some extra texture on there, a little extra bling on there, just basically for me, because I like that kind of thing. All right, so that's what it's gonna look like. And now I am going to use my snail adhesive to get that adhered on there. And it's a little lumpy when you go over it, but just kind of hold on to it, you'll be fine. Get that on here. I'm gonna turn it this way. And just try to center it as best you can. Again, people aren't as critical as you think. I know we always think that, don't we? We're our own worst critics. Now I'm gonna use some dimensionals to pop this up, but I will warn you that when you're adhering stuff to your glimmer paper, the one thing that works the best tends to be your glue dots. So go ahead and try to use your glue dots for this part. If you wanted to pop it up and use dimensionals, put dimensionals on and then put glue dots under the dimensionals, okay? And you'll be happy later because it will stick. And remember, I definitely will come back and edit and put all of my supplies and stuff, so you'll be knowing what to buy or what to use in your own place. And don't forget, you can always substitute whatever you have, kind of make it your own design. I always encourage people to do that. I think that's a great idea. And that's how I kind of got better at designing my own stuff, because you know, everybody has their own style. So my style isn't your style. You might like less bling, more bling, I don't know. So just basically do what makes you happy, because that's what creating is all about. All right, now I am gonna go ahead and pop it up. So you can play with this yourself, see how you like it, this way, that way. It doesn't matter, it's whatever you feel good about at the moment, and I felt good about that, so I'm putting it there. And we have the I love you that I stamped already, and I pop that up on some dimensionals, and I'm gonna put that right down here in the corner. I love you a lot. All right, so that's our first card. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this right here. And I'm not using any ribbon or anything yet, so I'm not gonna put any embellishments on here just yet, but I am gonna do a whole nother layer. So I'm getting that layer ready. So in the meantime, let me just use my snail and get this adhered to my Whisper White. Okay. And I guess on this one, I didn't leave a big border because I liked how this looked. So I just gave it just a tiniest of borders. So, you know, just be mindful of that when you're cutting everything out, so you'll know how much of a border you're leaving so you don't go over the edge. Then this is gonna be our second layer. I'm gonna put it here so we can go ahead and put our hearts on top of that. This one I'm not gonna use dimensionals either, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this directly on there. See, so simple, right? And this one I did leave a little more of a border. Okay, now I have this heart that we had cut out earlier, and I'm gonna use my glue dots to get that on there so it will stay onto my glimmer. So we'll get all of our little glue dots on there. This is another thing I tend to overuse. And the glue dots are super strong, so a little bit goes a long way, but again, I guess if anything can be done, it can be overdone, and that's me, I will overdo it. So As you see, I'm going to overdo these little glue dots again, but I like them. They're easy to come by. I always have them in my arsenal, and I like how they really adhere well. You can definitely not get stuff off with this. If you use glue dots, you'll definitely always be able to have everything sticking just how you want it. And see, I cut this out exactly the same way, and I can show you that more later, but honestly, it's not hard to do. So I'm gonna put that there, see how that looks. And then for this one, because it's got all the green blinging, I went ahead and cut a piece. This is 3/4 of an inch. And then I just used this. We used our classic label to punch this out. This is really handy as well. Paper punches come in so handy. So again, I'm gonna adhere right onto here. That's your glimmer. So I'm gonna use the glue dots again. So I'll flip this over. And you see on this one, I did stamp on the wood patterned designer paper. This is a really pretty paper, and it comes in different shades. So like this one is more of a whitewash look, and it went with the card design I was doing. The other card I had, I just used a stark whisper white, and it looked okay, but when I started designing my second card, I said, oh, I have this, I'm gonna try it, and I actually liked it better. Put that there. Now, this is something I usually do, but I didn't do in my last video. I generally like to decorate envelopes. So just lower left corner is usually a good spot to go because it's kind of away from your address and it's not in the way of anything. It still looks really cute. So you can see how they look. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And again, remember to like and subscribe to my channel if you can. And if you'd like to become a member of our Facebook page, that would be awesome. We welcome all demonstrators, and on my VIP page is for my customers. That's just called the Fancy Stamper. So thanks a lot for hanging out with me on this 5 Minute Friday, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.